Okay, so for this hackathon, we have 650 hackers from 61 countries and 18 different time zones. So basically for the presentations, each team will have 4 minutes for their little video slash demo. And then following that, it'll be 3 minutes for a Q&A session with the judges. And after 6 to 8 teams, we'll go on like a 10-minute break. So in terms of criteria, you'll be judged on technicality, originality, practicality, UI, UX, and DX. And then there'll also be a thing called wow factor, which is just like anything that can maybe surprise the judges. This is just a reminder that it isn't a competition and people are just here to learn and maybe develop new types of technology. And so these will be our judges for today. And if you want to introduce yourselves.
Sure, I'll go first here. My name is Morgan Miskalik. I've got an organization called Deep Six. I'm into blockchain technology, things leaving us with longevity, really interested in the environment, and I call myself somewhat of a pseudo artist. So really interested in hackathons in general, and I think the collective culture of hackathons is a beautiful thing to appreciate.
I love that. I love hackathons. I love seeing what people have built. I love the scrappiness. I love the like prototyping and the rawness. Hi, I'm Austin Griffith. I'm a builder on Ethereum. I focus on tooling and developer education and developer onboarding. Just trying to see lots of really cool generic components get built in the space, so it's really easy to build your next product or hackathon project on Ethereum. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you for that. And now we'll get started with our demos. So here we go. Cameron, if you can promote the next team.
I'm so sorry, I totally forgot. I didn't realize. All right, 1 second. Give me a second. Sorry, give me a second.
All right, you can go ahead and get started. Team DeFi together, moon together. If there's audio playing, you need to click on a share audio setting because we can't hear it right now.
My bad. How about this?
You may have to stop sharing and then reshare.
Oh,
There's like a little setting when you share screen to share the audio also.
okay, cool. No sound?
Still no audio.
No sound right now.
Oh man.
Did you select the little button that says share computer audio?
So, okay, cool.
In the bottom left corner.
And share sound right there.
Yep.
Oh, 1 sec, sorry. Frame first, and then we're going to go a demo with some tech integrations. So DeFi together, Moon together. The idea is you can get a bunch of people who can invest in DeFi and do it in a way that is safe and doesn't require trust with the friends involved. So no rug pulls. Now this is the onboarding flow. What the person is going to do is they're going to set up a Gnosis safe with themselves as an owner. So that's what will happen here, create wallet. Then they will add the modules. Modules are custom business logic that will impact the user experience. So here we have rage quit, add a new member. These are defaults. Add a new member is quite simply a new person that joins the group has to add a proportional amount of capital. Vice versa, rage quit means someone can leave the group, and when they leave, they will get their share, basically their proportion of funds invested back. But then we've got stuff like dynamic voting. You can take various chat app type features and bring this into the mix, stuff like kicking, for example. All right, here the owner will set the amount of starting capital. So for our example, we're just going to use 1 ETH. This means that new members invited here will have to send 1 ETH before they can add themselves as an owner. All right, so we've got 1 join, 2 pending, and then we're just going to go to the DeFi Together homepage. So our friends have been invited. The balance of the wallet is 4 ETH. And now we're going to look at the proposed transaction flow. So proposed transaction, basically select what you want to do from the drop-down menu that will have various DeFi integrations, and then set a rationale. So this rationale will be saved to IPFS via Ceramic. And yeah, that's straightforward. But we're going to look now what happens when a transaction has got 3 out of 4 signatures required. And the last friend can basically go into the details and see this conversation around the transaction. So yeah, that's obviously super safe. 2 of his friends agreed. At this point, the user can leave a comment and then sign and confirm or reject it. So in this case, yeah, the user is going to sign and confirm, and the transaction will go through, updating the total balance to 3 ETH and 1 Aave with. So that was the concept. What we have here using scaffold.eth is the tech integration between the Gnosis Safe and Ceramic. So I've already added my wallet address as a code is 1. We've got starting capital that will basically send the initial amount of capital to the Gnosis Safe. Already sent some funds in and out at the moment. Invite friends. So what I can do is, let me just get a random wallet address. And the new threshold for signing, I'll make that 2. All right, so we've added that wallet address as another potential co-owner. And we can now also propose a transaction. So we can send money to, say, this signed in address. We get some ether, 0.004, and rational, say, try it out and submit. So what we'll do is we'll see this. There's a signature missing. So we haven't built that into our demo to basically handle the extra transactions or the extra signatures. But it does mean that's working, so that's good. And then here is just a brief demo of using Ceramic. So we have another page where we're just testing out the Ceramic integration. All right, so what I can do here is just test it out. And when I submit this, you'll see we've got a Ceramic identifier here. And then we've also got a specific stream ID. So if I cool, and that's how I'm going to cut it short. It's still a bit over.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll have 3 minutes for Q&A.
You know, I love this. This is like something like we're building with Scaffold E2. Did you use Veraza's starter kit, or did you have to kind of roll your own?
No, totally. So start off with Veraza's starter kit, and then the adding new owner was something that Flying Optopia worked on.
And also there's Ceramic based chat there. Is that right? Did I catch that last bit? So it's not just transaction proposal, but there's some kind of chat going on?
Yeah, so that's actually where we spent the majority of our time and majority of struggle. So we started using the IPFS component initially, but then we had this issue of like auth. Now Ceramic's got something in the pipeworks that will allow Gnosis Safe to basically be the owner of a data stream, and then the various co-owners of a safe can write it. Unfortunately, that wasn't ready, so we experimented first with using the key as identifier. Then we went to using each individual owner as writing their own stream. So we're kind of messing around with that, but I think that's not something that we could, in the time frame, figure out how to execute to kind of get this more chat-like experience. What we have is like basically everyone can just write on the screen so long as they are a co-owner of the safe.
I'm so excited for Gnosis Safe front ends. I think that there's going to be so much innovation that's going to happen on top of any like key insights there for me as I go forward, kind of making these for more developers. Like what maybe something that was like, oh crap, I didn't expect that to happen and it fell apart or something.
Well, modules is really like where you get that custom user experience. So you can get like a vanilla Gnosis Safe and it's a multi-sig, it does what it says on the box. But yeah, you can create this custom business logic which will turn it from a multi-sig to something that resembles a chat app or something that resembles like a high-end DeFi application to do treasury management, so on and so forth. So integration with modules, which, as you know, like Oren's working on that. So I think you're ahead of the game in terms of like integration.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Great build.
Yeah, really cool. I love the fact that you can sort of manage things with DAOs using Gnosis Safe, and the fact that you've built a little bit of a UI. I'm curious to know if you're interested in other chat platforms or if you plan to build out your own UI UX with the, I think you use the starter kit there. Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, my background, I actually used to work for WeChat, and then I worked with status.im. I've dreamed about it pretty much from day one. My origin story is like frustration with WeChat and the banking APIs, and that's how I got into Ethereum. So 100% thought about doing some different iterations of the chat experience, but using decentralized technologies. With regards to interface, we really didn't get to that. Basically just using the AND components with scaffold.eth to kind of make it more a Reddit type UX of like commenting, posting and commenting. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for different types of interactions.
If we put a module into a starter kit, what's a super simple, like how about like spending limit module or something like that? Is there like a default, like really obvious module that would be good to ship with a starter kit?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few already written. So if you check out Token Walk is making a bunch specifically for DAOs. Oren with Zodiac is doing a bunch also specifically with DAOs. Actually, the one that here does, we can chat offline, but there's a bunch.
Great build.
Cool, thanks a lot. Really enjoyed the experience.
Thank you for that. And just a reminder that when your presentations are done, our admin will demote you, and then you'll either stay in the Zoom and watch, or you can just leave. And then our next team up will be Team Fairy.
I don't know, it may be me or I'm lagging a bit. It seems that when I press promote, unless it's working now. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, hi. Did you call the next team to start?
Team Fairy is up right now. If that's you, then can you guys go ahead and screen share? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is me, but for some reason I don't see two of my other teammates here.
Do you see them in the attendees list?
Oh, actually, no.
Yeah,
okay. I do see Ben, and myself. Yes.
Yeah, if one of you guys could just screen share and then start the video. If none of unless your group mates are like in the Zoom, then I don't think we can do anything.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, yeah, I've got my video ready.
Oh wait, I think someone just joined. Cameron, can you promote them? Sydney, is she in your group?
Yes, yeah, Sydney is.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we can wait like 30 more seconds.
Yes, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, their internet cut out. Okay, but yeah, I think they're coming back in. Okay, 20 more seconds. Just waiting for our full stack developer to come, definitely.
That's okay on my end. I'm just enjoying some hummingbirds come by, so I'm cool to wait.
Oh, thanks.
That's awesome. What? Never mind.
Hi guys. Really sorry about that.
Okay, cool. I can share my screen. I'm going to be sharing my screen. And I'm going to be sharing my computer audio. Hello, HackFS. This is Ferry, a UX-friendly Web3 file transfer tool built on IPFS Filecoin. Quite simply, our tool sends files from one person to another, similar to other Web2 tools you have used before, but now decentralized. Millions of people depend on centralized file transfer tools every day, which proves the need for a decentralized alternative. The Web3 ecosystem needs solutions that let people migrate from Web 2 without even realizing it. Ferry provides a familiar workflow for file transfers, one that mirrors what people are already comfortable with. Ferry is the ideal tool for anyone who wants to use this tool for work, as a tech industry freelancer, journalist, or creative who needs to send files that are larger than the usual email size. So how would this work? Ferry leverages content addressing to minimize our storage usage, and we pass these savings on to our users. We are using Versal and Magic to create a DID for our users. For upload, we are building on Protocol Labs' new Web3 storage service to store our users' files. Through this, we can give the user a temporary storage space where they can get access to space for free to send their files. They can get more storage space and longer file persistence with a paid subscription. We can periodically reclaim storage space on the free tier of the system in order not to be wasteful. This ecosystem is made up of 4 contracts deployed on Polygon's testnet. 2 of these make up the governance token, SHIP, and its staking rewards module. The core Ferry contract handles payments, pro subscriptions, and integrates with Aave to earn yield by lending out the protocol's DAI. The 4th contract is the NFT Minter, which integrates with Chainlink and Zora to bring true randomness to the rarity of our NFTs. A gift for any pro members who subscribe for a month or more. So let's get into the demo. Let's start off with how anyone can just pick up this tool and start ferrying files immediately without any subscription or payments. Step 1, they will log in and create an account with a DID using a magic link. After the file is uploaded on IPFS, we get its content address, which we can use to create an IPFS gateway, which can be used as is or emailed to the user's recipient. After this, all we need to do is ferry it. Lastly, the receiver will get an email and download their file, like this. Easy and done. Now for the paid version. Let's jump to after the login step and connect a wallet. So here we connect the wallet in order to buy a subscription. Our users get more storage for less cost, but more importantly, they get freedom from the cloud storage provider homogeny. On the dashboard is where we can see a list of all links generated. We can see how much space we have left and check how many governance tokens we have and which NFT we have been issued. These gifted NFTs will unlock more rewards in the future. This is how we plan to create incentives for use of our tool. For more on our roadmap, you can see here or go to our deployed website at this address. We hope we see all HackFS hackers and organizers using Ferry as soon as possible, so that when they have files to transfer, they can simply ferry it.
All right, now you guys will have 3 minutes for Q&A.
I just want to say I really love the UI. You guys did an amazing job with gradients, it's very pleasant from the perspective, and also the sort of flow that you took us through, I found to be quite incredible. So kudos to that. I wanted to know if you had any issues with Web3 storage, or if you see any implementations with the certain specific use cases you might be looking at other than what you mentioned?
I must say the developer experience was amazing. It worked really, really well. I guess the only issue we ran into was that the ability to delete files through the Web3 storage client, the JavaScript client, hasn't been implemented yet. But I'm actually planning on making a PR to do the last piece of it myself. So maybe that'll hurry it up. But besides that, it works like a dream.
Great to hear. Good job.
Okay, so zooming in on that design a little bit, the UI is beautiful. What does your stack look like to build that app? What did you guys use?
So yeah, we're lucky to have some fantastic UI designers who figured out how it should work visually in Figma. And then we built this using Next.js, which is a React framework, and then we deployed it with Vercel. It actually also heavily leverages Vercel's serverless functions feature. So it essentially has separate APIs for each of the things like login, logout, upload a file, etc.
And magic for the wallet, right? Magic for the
magic to
email.
Generate
Dope.
Yeah, to generate a DID. So instead of having, so we essentially have a list of users in FaunaDB, but instead of having usernames with passwords, we just have emails.
And there was one like curveball you threw in there about there's an NFT with VRF randomness. Like what is I get the file and I get that we're sharing the file and I get that we're logging in, but what does the NFT do? Like, what is that? Where is it?
That's to drive adoption and use of the app. So we want to kind of incentivize people who buy a pro subscription that they can get an NFT. It will be randomized. There's 4 rarity tiers, and based on the rarity tiers, people can be airdropped government tokens when we launched a mainnet. But Ben, did you have more ideas about the NFTs?
Yeah, no, I think you pretty much touched on it. Basically, just we wanted to create a really nice package for our pro subscribers. So we wanted to put a bit of effort into the NFT experience. And so it's it's using Chainlink's VRF to ensure the randomness and the rarity. And then it's also minting through Zora. So then it's tradable already on their platform.
How long did this take to build? There's a lot here, but how long was it start to finish for you guys?
Like 2 weeks, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great work.
Yeah, I'm really
probably some sleepless nights. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. This last weekend was a bit sleepless, to say the least.
And I'd ask next steps, but it sounds like, I mean, that you're purposefully, you've got this governance token, like you're trying to deploy this thing as a platform, and mainnet Ethereum or mainnet Polygon.
We're probably going to start on Polygon, just because I think the cost of paying the subscription and minting the NFT, and there's sort of a Chainlink callback thing, so that you have to pay and then wait a bit for that VRF to issue you a random number, and then you can mint your NFT. That'll get quite costly on Ethereum. So we're probably going to launch on Polygon first.
Really, really dope build, really complex, really beautiful. If I could give any feedback or criticism, I would say maybe you made it too complicated. Like maybe focus just on the file sharing, maybe focus just on the NFT.
Easy.
But
it was too easy just to show the file sharing. Like it actually happened too fast. We actually had to put in buffers.
I blame Web3 storage. It was too easy to use.
Too easy. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Well, good luck with this. Like this is, it's not this moment, it's the next moment when you guys go live. That's the big moment. You guys have already built something amazing here. So this is, take a victory lap and enjoy it and get ready to go live.
Thanks so much.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, amazing work. Really happy to see it.
Thank you, Team Fairy. So next up, we'll have Team Open Labs. If you want to go ahead and share your screen.
Hey everyone. Yep, I'll go right ahead. Hi, I'm Kwan, and today I'll be introducing Open Labs. The problem that we are looking into is the reproducibility crisis in academia, which, according to a recent poll, as much as 90% of scientists believe to be a big problem. The problem is that a lot of published results in fields such as medicine or psychology simply cannot be replicated. And this is often attributed to the lack of replication efforts within the community and a very opaque structure in how data from research are being shared around. We propose sort of like a GitHub issues for scholarly research to help mitigate this situation. Number one, we want to create a blockchain platform where all researchers can upload their project materials. The files that are uploaded are tracked by version control and can be openly reviewed by any other user. Secondly, we also learned that reviewers are often motivated by the wish to give back and build up a reputation. We want to create a hub, a permanent record where their contribution can be publicly credited. Lastly, we also want to experiment with decentralized governance of the platform by allowing researchers to form their own decentralized group and vote on which projects to admit into their group. We are a team of 3. I'm the lead engineer, Alexi is the front-end developer, and Jackie is our Web3 developer. We use 3 main technology for this project: Ceramic for version control project files, Web3 storage for the storage of the file themselves, and Polygon to handle the peer review logic and to track social credits. We also hope to integrate the graph for data query and Chainlink for more fine-tuned user authentication in the future. Let's take a look at the app itself. Here we are at the home page and we see a list of projects from other researchers. Let's take a look at this one. And in the middle part is a list of all the materials that the authors have uploaded. Now it seems like this author has uploaded a survey. Let's take a quick look. Then I can write a review. Having written my review, I can then submit and then stake a portion of my social credit to back up my claims. As you can see, my review is now tracked on the blockchain. If it is not marked as fraudulent within a fixed duration of time, then I can unstake and gain rewards for my participation. The labs feature is also an important aspect of our platform. Let's create our own lab and start inviting other people's projects to it. After filling in the information, I can then spend 10 social credits to create my own lab. As a founder, I start with a certain amount of tokens, which I can spend on other people's projects. I click on the vouch button, select the relevant lab, and select the amount to vouch for this project. Now that this project is affiliated with the lab, anytime that someone reviews this paper, they will also gain some tokens from the lab itself, which they can then spend to vouch on more papers or to govern the lab itself. We foresee that labs will become a big driving force of community engagement on our platform, as it provides researchers with a very simple way to connect with others in their niche, as well as to run a decentralized organization and directly influence the future direction of their field.
All right, 3 minutes for Q&A starts now.
I like the use of the 1155. That's a cool way to do that. Like the vouch system with an 1155, it makes sense to do that. I'm just digging into the code. Yeah, I don't have like a specific question yet. Maybe I'll yield to Morgan and then come back.
Yeah, sure. I just want to say, I think that the game for a lot of science and psychology is really changing. And I think that doing this type of labs as a service protocol is like a really cool way. It's almost like the social credit system, creating more trust and able to get resources to the right data set. Here's, it seems like this sort of cross tokenization can sort of create this like DAO as a service with these labs. I'm wondering if you thought about something related to, specific use cases with institutions, or are you thinking more about like the sort of like myself, which is like a, independent researcher? Where do you see your focus fitting in?
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking at this labs as sort of a DAO. We are thinking that it's more decentralized and more like democratic in a way that, like, let's say you're someone who is very passionate about cancer research, then you can start this own lab, and it sort of acts like an accelerator of sort, where you can start helping to curate projects that you think are interesting, you vouch for them, and then those people of those projects start earning those tokens, and they become part of the community, and they can like vote for more people to join the lab. And our core concern is actually around the issue of peer review. And there's not that strong of an incentive for very busy researchers to be looking at each other's paper. But what if we tie that to this idea of reputation and like building community? And that's what these labs as a DAO kind of incentivize. They will start reviewing each other and then gain social credits, and then sort of build this reciprocal relationship with one another.
I think so. I feel like one of the hardest things is actually getting people to use it, right? I love that you're like trying to align incentives and trying to set something up where people can use it. Kind of like two paths here. Like, let's say this gets adoption and people use it. How do you get that adoption? And then if you don't get that adoption, what's next for you within Ethereum if this doesn't hit?
Absolutely. So you want the adoption to be very organic and be geared around the way like academia work. I personally am an undergraduate researcher, so I know like there's a lot of like actual like labs with like professors, PhD postdocs, and that kind of stuff. And so one way we could see adoption being incentivized is kind of like, within the lab, like professors encourage the students to use this to start gathering feedback for their results. And also for especially people in like soft sciences where credibility is a big issue. You want to be able to stand up from your competitor. So imagine if you could write in your paper that, oh yeah, all this code and scripts has been reviewed by the Open Society on Open Labs. Yeah.
So you need to find a professor or someone on the ground and get this in their hands and get them using it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I could see myself using something like this.
Great.
Good hackathon project.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Open Labs. Now we'll go on to Team MetaBank.
Okay. So let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen now? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna start playing okay. Hi, I'm Lowell, and together with George and Frank, our team MetaBank. There are 1.7 billion adults who lack bank accounts, and one of the major reasons is because traditional banks require a multitude of factors such as steady income history, maintenance fees, and credit ratings. In the metaverse, such problems do not exist. In fact, there's even an opportunity to create a banking system that is advantageous in a global scale. Such advantage include the opportunity to borrow money with lesser requirements compared with traditional banks. This is where MetaBank comes in. MetaBank makes it easier to access high-yield savings account and under-collateralized loans that serve as digital credit cards, all within the confines of a metaverse. They can even purchase an NFT through various platforms. We use IPFS, Aave, and Polygon. And for the product presentation, here is George.
Okay, so to get started, you want to log in with MetaMask. Should be connected. If you haven't already, join as a member to the bank. Otherwise, you can't deposit or withdraw your savings or get a credit card and whatnot. So once that's done, now you're a member. You can deposit into your savings. You have your credit. You don't have any right now, but you can get one once you deposit savings. And you have the pool of overall amount, interest garnered, and also the number of members. So now let's deposit into our savings. You could only deposit DAI. So if you don't have any already, then deposit some DAI, swap some ETH into DAI. So we'll just do 1 ETH. All right, now that you have your DAI, you want to deposit your DAI. So we'll do 2,000 DAI. You want to approve that, and then you want to deposit the DAI in there. So now you have 2,000 DAI in the contract. It's confirmed also in your dashboard. So now look at your dashboard. You got 2,000 DAI, and because you have some savings in your account now, you could make a credit card So to make a credit card is pretty easy. As long as you have some money deposited in your savings, you can generate a credit limit. So I have a credit limit of almost $500. If I'm satisfied with that, then I just get my credit card. Okay, so now you have your credit contract, and all you need to do is activate your so-called digital credit card. So now you have credit available that you can use to spend on anything, just like a just like a regular credit card. And then you have the option to always repay that credit, whenever you need to, but it has to be in USDC. And that's it. Go back to the dashboard. You can see the whole summary of your, account, savings, credit, and the entire pool. Thank you.
So yeah, we're now open for questions.
If you want to sell online.
Yeah, I had an initial question here. I know that Aave can kind of have some intricacies with their contracts, and so it's great to see what you've got going on with there. I love to see the fact that credit people can pool their resources together. Have you considered things related to reputation, or how you might involve, whether the creditworthiness of an individual or groups together in some dynamic, whether it's through culture or other mechanisms like reputation or identity?
Yeah, I can take that. So ideally, we would want to add in like verifiable credentials. So whether that be like Hyperledger Aries, we looked into Ceramic with the IDX, or some other digital identity where you could validate yourself. As of right now, since we don't have anyone technically verified, it's just your wallet. It's just pegged to 101 at most. So depending on the amount of savings you have, you could only borrow up to that amount. Otherwise, once you have verifiable credentials, then it could be like we have it where you can do up to 3x borrowed amount. So you could actually have an under collateralized, credit. And then it just works essentially just like a credit card.
And how does it map in if other people in the pool assistant in more pool?
Your connection's a little choppy. I'm not sure.
Sorry, my internet was.
I think it might be Morgan's. Yeah.
No problem.
It's the hummingbirds. They're fluttering around, messing up your Wi-Fi.
Here, it's the frequencies. Yeah. No, Austin, you can go ahead with the question. I don't want to take up time.
So, did you guys? I went to go check out your code, and the link is broken. I don't know. I'll paste it in here. Maybe it's someone else's GitHub or something like that.
I have it on private.
If you guys wouldn't mind, if you guys wouldn't mind linking me.
Public.
And my question would be like, did you guys have to write any custom smart contracts for this, or is it basically just piggybacked on Aave and Polygon?
It's mainly just on top of Aave,
which is dope. That's just a question.
Where essentially, essentially when you like ask for credit, you actually deploy your own contract that you have complete control over as the user. So trying to organize that where your credit contract interacts with the savings pool. It was a little complicated in terms of trying to make that interact at first, but we were able to figure that out. So yeah, it was not too much customization. It was just more of how we organized the code.
Okay, to make sure I understood that. So to paste your link into your contract if you guys have it, but you guys do deploy a custom contract, and it basically acts kind of like a smart contract wallet where it's the identity and it's taking out the credit line. Okay, cool. So the custom contract thing was like just a question. Like I think that some of the best apps that we see are going to be built on top of these services that already exist. And yeah, sometimes you'll need a smart contract for, and what's cool is if you have that smart contract there, you can do things like gasless transactions and some more magical things where that is the identity, and you can just be signing messages and relay them in. Cool build. I liked your design too. What do you guys use for your front end? Like how'd you guys create that?
We used Next.js, and then
Dope.
a lot of it was custom CSS.
Yeah.
It's a nice clean design.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, MetaBank. Next up, we have Team Sid Sign. Sorry if I messed up the name, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Good.
All right, please share your screen and start your presentation.
Welcome to the presentation for SID Sign, way to sign SIDs with domain names. This is a HackFS 2021 submission. My name is Nick Wesley James, GitHub handle at NickWestJam. This is me. I push out wildly hacky code and give fun presentations. The problem is the lack of easily verifiable and permanent way to sign documents without modifying them. Think of a school transcript. These are hard to sign. There's a team working at different academic institutions who send out hard copies or respond to queries. Typically, these hard copies are signed with a physical stamp. Unofficial transcripts are sent out in PDF format, which are unsigned. So think, how could the schools more easily permanently sign these documents in an open way? How could you save on employee time responding to these requests? Employee time both for the institution and for the employers. Existing solutions difficult to use. Typically, they work within a corporate intranet and they require high barrier to entry. PKI infrastructure is not user friendly, and they often require modification to the underlying base file. Solution is Whatted, who uploaded that document. This allows SIDs to be signed by domain name owners, and this signature should be easily verified by anyone. It has file uploading with Web3 storage, SID signed using Ethereum blockchain, and using TXT domain name records to verify ownership of Ethereum addresses. Let's go to a quick demo. So here our page, thinkingzoo.com. We need MetaMask right now for this. We're going to select a file, test.txt. This could be any file, any transcript. What this does, this uploads it, it gets the CID, and queries our smart contract for that CID. This is using the injected Web3 provider, but it could be used for something like Infura also if you don't have injected Web3 provider. We can see the different Ethereum accounts that have signed this SID in our smart contract, what dates, and what linked domain names. To sign this document, it's very easy. Give it inject the Web3 provider, click sign. It's going to pop up a MetaMask type solution, and we're just going to sign it. No problem. So we'll give that a sec, see if this has worked. Okay, 1 second here. Okay, right now we can see we're waiting for it to send. Okay, it's been sent. We can see this is our current time and a most recent update here. For these linked domains, what happens is we look at the domain TXT records. So we can see westjam.com here, TXT record. We've got an address stating ownership on this Ethereum address. So got an API endpoint. You can add domains to this, and it will search the domain records for that Ethereum address. So let's say I want to add westjam.com to this. Real simple. This has been added. I go back to our Whatted page, refresh it. We can see the Ethereum address ownership has been updated. So very simple. There's also an easy browser extension here. This is a HackFS page. I can see some Ethereum addresses on here. So I've got an extension here, which will just check any Ethereum addresses on the page and just verify the ownership if that exists in our system. So this tech stack, again, gone through front end, no surprises, back end, Django REST framework, got some Solidity and some CSS for the browser extension. Lots of limitations, edge cases, not really captured. Security needs to be delved into deeper, but this just kind of shows what it could be. This is all live demo, all working as you've seen it, and GitHub page is up. In conclusion, this is a way to permanently sign a document without modifying the base file. It's fully open, and it links domains to Ethereum addresses, enabling easy understanding of who signed the SID. More work to be done, but definitely see some space, some opportunity in the academic space. Thanks for your time.
Okay, now we'll move on to 3 minutes for Q&A.
I'm not seeing the GitHub repo there. Well, I clicked through to your GitHub repo and I just see a README and a license. Am I looking at the wrong repo?
I think the wrong repo. If you go to Nick Westjam as the user, and then the repo's SID sign.
Yeah, I was able to pull it up. I just posted in the chat. Really
Thank
great
you.
work tying in all these different technologies. It's cool to see the signatures with the normal DNS and doing that stored in a decentralized way. I'm curious to know whether or not you thought about like specific use cases or people that might be using it other than just the broad term of institutions, or it seems like it's kind of like a mix between these decentralized and centralized kind of parties here. Where do you see the first user?
Yeah, I really see it actually as for academic, like universities. I'm thinking like my brother just got his transcripts mailed off, but it cost him $20 Canadian to send them to each institution. He had to send them to at least 9 different locations.
Oh, wow.
So a couple $100. I just see that so easily being done as like a PDF that can be digitally signed for your transcripts. Also, another easy one would be like, if maybe that's a little more formal, if you have an online course and you want a more official certificate, I could see that as an easy use case also.
Awesome. Yeah, the credentialization of domain names and like institutions, I think is really interesting. You can even, have you thought about like ENS as well in the future?
I haven't dug too deep into that. I wanted to use like the existing one because I wanted to like make it so almost like the opposite of not being anonymous. I want to make it like very like tying into traditional identities of who this is.
Cool. Yeah, I really like the practicality. Great job. Great work on the technical side too.
Thanks.
Yeah, speaking of practicality, like you get extra points when there's like a live demo that I can get into and click into and log in, and you guys did that. And it's not pretty, but it's live and it works, and that's how hackathon projects need to work. So
yeah, totally.
Good job, good hackathon project. Like Morgan said, you guys brought a lot of stuff together. I noticed even like a Chrome extension, like you needed the Chrome extension to do the signatures, or what was the Chrome extension? Like, why did you need that?
I didn't need it. I just thought I could do it. And I was like, like 20 lines of code, the most hacky Chrome extension ever. I was like, I'll throw it in there. Why not?
Good hackathon project. Nice work, guys.
You're going to overtake MetaMask in the institution.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, if you guys are done, we'll move on to Team DAI.
Just wait a minute, just sharing. Hello everyone, myself I'm from Team DEAI, and in our hackathon project we have tried to combine 2 big technologies of the present world known as machine learning and blockchain. So now I'm going to tell you what our project is really about. So data privacy is a big concern. People want good recommendation engines, but they don't want to give their data. Also, getting data for making medical machine learning models is a very big deal, as patient data need to be kept private and very less medical data is available on the web. So DEAI solved this problem by giving an architecture where you provide your data to train machine learning models, but nobody owns your data, nor your data is exposed to anywhere. Only a hash of your data is stored in our data handler. We have used Web3 storage as a data handler here. And yes, so this hash is irreversible and is used to keep in check that the data that we are providing to our training model is not duplicate, and nobody is just spamming same data. So now as we have moved inside the inside our app. So now we have deployed a basic machine learning model, which is the sentiment analysis model, and we'll be demonstrating this model, sentiment analysis model. So as we see the bottom section, this is the train module. So anyone who is willing to provide data to train our model can write their data here and press train. And
The given data shows that the given comment is a positive comment, which is being provided to the smart contract for training a model.
So when you press train, it asks for to take some Ethereum. This is to make sure that the data provided is good. So whenever the model's accuracy is increased, the model is updated and is pushed to the Web3 storage. This model then can be used for getting predictions. Any user who wants to get predictions has to buy subscription. We have used unlock protocol for buying subscriptions here. So now we'll be demonstrating the getting predictions model.
When get prediction will be pressed, it will show a toast below that shows the subscription has been purchased. Here it is.
So as it shows, this is a positive review. Positive review. So this output has been given from our trained model that has been trained on the smart contract using users' data, and the data is not revealed or exposed anywhere. So that was all about our project. Thank you and have a nice day. See you around the Web3 space.
Combining ML and something that's like expensive to process and store with blockchain, where it's like you can't kind of run that stuff and store that stuff. It's always an interesting way to mix those things and see how people figure out how to do that. So good work, cool project. It's a fun hackathon project.
Yes, actually, last summer, like this June or July, we were really working on a research project that included some medical data. And we lacked that medical data, and it's kept private for a patient's privacy. So we have actually failed this. So we needed a solution, and blockchain was the only solution. And in this hackathon, we found really cool tools to build this project and went for it.
Yeah, really cool. I love the fact that different medical institutions or different places can have different options with how they're processing their data. I'm curious to know the tech stack with where you're storing it. Is it just through, you mentioned Web3, but I'm wondering if also the model gets stored as well and tracked, because I'd like to see, some type of, yeah, go ahead.
Actually, first of all, we were training the model on the smart contract, as well as storing it. We're storing it on the smart contract also, but that included a fee. And Web3 storage, such a great storage tool that reduces our reduces the cost of storing our data. That model that can be used by any applications that just needs to use that data model to get predictions. Like if you wanna, any hospital wants to train their corona detection model, then it can just build and can access that Web3 storage model only. It does not need to be connected to the smart contracts.
Okay.
That segment can be built separately also.
Very cool. Yeah, I'd love to see more development with like the ability to choose different biases from models and the ability for a doctor to become like almost a pseudo scientist with AI as well as like this augmented tool. Really cool.
I had to dig into the contracts and look, and sure enough, like you're normalizing weights, you're like finding the prediction, and you're in a for loop looking through the weights and adding them together. So like I can't believe you put this all into Solidity, but it's really cool how you're classifying and you're actually like bringing this data in and you're running it through the EVM. So again, super neat hackathon project, being able to bring ML data and Solidity and smart contracts together.
Yes, sleepless nights. That's what it's called.
Good work. Keep hacking. I want to see
Thank
you
you.
around the Ethereum space more.
Of course, of course. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Team DEAI. Next, we'll move on to Team Weather Timeline.
Hello.
I don't think you're sharing audio. If the video is playing sound, we can't hear it yet. It should be a setting for screen share.
Hi, I'm Christian Monk. I am a participant in HackFS, and I have made the idea weather timeline that it's only an idea. I haven't code yet. I haven't made a prototype or so, but I have done just research, Google, read on about weather and this idea for extreme zero to make it that by users. I'm from Denmark, and here I share some PowerPoint thoughts. What is the weather like today? It's an ordinary question. If you ask, will it impact my day travel on, then use weather timeline. Adapt on Web 3. So, until that, we have to use Web 2.0. We can example it using weather data in our open source project, which we are crossing well. Weather API from Open Weather Map or the weather from EMI, weather service. Here's some of the domains, options, and this link to set up. And make development the image from Windows in virtual with Visual Code or to work in with the HTML, CSS, and there's the weather timeline. I like to use weather data for blockchain and the trade. Here, example, the open source. Get ready for open source apps or other services. I like to use open data on the 2.0, and the users can share content. Hey.
Good hackathon project. It was in the white paper, and Vitalik wrote about how we would have weather and insurance together and how oracles would do this, and we still don't see this built. So are you going to continue building this?
Yes, I have contact with another hacker from this hackathon who is DevOps and Solidity. So we hope to make the backend for something with a better timeline for developers and big firms. Is the idea because there are not any open data yet, not enough open data on the web to get used to copy or save on EPFS or something. Fleek and Slate are something I think of.
Another one I'll share is Google Weather from Chainlink. They do an Oracle service, and I'll share it in the chat, and you can share that with your developer too.
Yes. So have to learn to program and have to learn all this blockchain, and you can't. Even I have been with you since last hackathon. So it's evolved, and my idea, I haven't found any weather data or weather apps or dApps onto this. So I'm think my idea for an end user is unique.
Yeah, like Austin mentioned, I think that there are some open weather sourcing, but it'd be cool to, you know, tie in more developers into decentralized hardware that might look at other sourcing that you might be able to run nodes on, like IPFS or something like that, where it goes direct to source. That might be an interesting hack as well.
I love the idea of hardware out in the field too, like gathering rain and reporting on how much rain it picked up. That's another interesting angle.
Yes, the open data, the DMI in Denmark weather service working for a new open data, and all weather from service from national international time work for open data at weather. So this.
Well,
Thank
keep
you.
hacking, keep building.
Say,
Yes,
thanks.
I want to see it get built.
Yeah, Christian, I think I just seeing your project from last time and this HackFS, it's great. So hopefully we get to see the first ever weather dApp from you for ETH Online. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team Weather Timeline. And we'll be moving on to Team Crypto Devs NFT, but following their presentation, we will have a 10-minute break.
Hi, everybody. Starting to share my screen here. Hi, my name is Rory, and this is my project submission for HackFS 2021. The name of my project is Crypto Devs, and it is an NFT for aspiring crypto developers. I came into this hackathon looking to hack solo so that I could gauge where my skill set was, from brainstorming all the way through to coding. And this is what I came up with, so I will do a short demo. First, I developed the contracts and did all the testing in Hard Hat. And first thing I'm going to do is show you the Hard Hat tests, and they are all passing. Second thing I'm going to do is I've set up a local Hard Hat node already, and it's running. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy the contract to the local host. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and show you the front end here. And first thing, it wants to let me to log in to MetaMask. for our favorite wallet here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that shows that our wallet is connected. And we're going to go ahead and fill out our portfolio information before we send it, before we mint it as an NFT. First, we choose our image, then our name. And I went ahead and pre-wrote this, and I'm going to copy paste it so that this demo goes by a little bit quicker, but this is just a brief summary. This will actually appear on OpenSea in the description field. And we're going to go ahead and select some of our skills here. Solidity, hard hat, node. Since this is my first React project, we're not going to select that. Ethers.js has been a great help during this project, so we're going to select that. We also have the looking for Web3 development job checkbox here, and you can turn that on or off depending on what your situation is. And next, we're going to go ahead and copy our project details here. And what this is this stores on IPFS a markdown file, which has you can use to showcase your projects. We're going to go ahead and paste that, and we're going to click the Mint New NFT button here. While that's working, what's going to happen is in the background, it's using the web3.storage API, and it's sending that image there, getting a CID for it, and then changing the source of the HTML to look for that proper image there. Pretty soon here, it will be asking me to confirm a transaction. Lately, my MetaMask has been a little slow on my local hosts, but what I have done is I have deployed this to the Rinkeby testnet already. And the great thing about this here is that you're able to display all your NFTs. Currently, right now, there's only one minted. These NFTs are non-transferable, and there's only one allowed per address. But I think it's really nice that you can be able to integrate into OpenSea like this. And I use the web3.storage API to build the metadata file and then submit it and get the CID and mint the token with that. As you see here, there's our description here that we filled in, and then the properties are here as well. The Web3 job status you can see is looking, Ethers.js, hard hat, so our skills are highlighted here. And that's how it appears on OpenSea. All right, thank you for watching my demo. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the presentation. We'll be moving on to the 3-minute Q&A now.
So it's an NFT that represents a developer's abilities. And then as you were building it, you're kind of like registering your own abilities as you went through it. This is a very meta, but very good hackathon project. I want my question to be like more meta in terms of how can we do better as a space to onboard? What was maybe the hardest part for you in terms of getting this built and getting it shipped?
Honestly, the hardest part was the brainstorming. And
okay.
I came into this looking at all the sponsors. I'm really new to the Web3 space, so I was trying to absorb all the sponsors and the seminars and all that, and just there's so much available and there's so much interesting to look at. To me, it was about narrowing down what I could look at, what I could, absorb, because it was just too much. I was trying to absorb and put so many things in that I think I got just a little bit distracted. So the brainstorming was tough. There's so many things that I wanted to do, but I just felt like I needed to kind of pick one and narrow it down. And that's there's so many things, and like so many of these projects that are in this hackathon are amazing, and there's like so many things to look at and so many things to really deep dive into. But what I wanted to make sure is that I had a development process, so I had to cut short a lot of the exploring and expanding what else was available to kind of narrow down and get a project done.
So
Excuse me.
at first I was going to say, like, was there the inspiration available? It sounds like the tooling was good and the inspiration was there and you had a bunch of examples. It was just kind of synthesizing it down to what are my abilities to apply this tooling to one of these ideas, and what can I get done? So it sounds like you had the inspiration and you had the tooling. It was just about like narrowing it down and attacking it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
absolutely it.
Cool. Maybe as an ecosystem, we could provide a little bit better tech tree where it's like you get this ability, and then it upgrades to this ability and this ability, and you start with like NFTs, but then you get to like a DEX eventually or something like that. Just as a meta comment. Cool hackathon project.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your comment.
Yeah, I really love the ideas there, the extra add-ons, and really cool to see the sort of non-transferable side. I know that with NFTs, sort of just as an identifier, it can be sort of weighty, but when you have sort of like this ENS type thing that represents not just a name, but also extra add-ons with skills and whatnot, can be really, really cool. And a lot of use cases. Have you considered looking at like Gnosis DAO or incorporating with other types of social networks that you might?
I haven't at this point. Really what I wanted to do is just absorb myself and get a project, and I definitely had to pivot on a couple of my ideas through the project just because I didn't really know what was available. But I think the most exciting thing is that I was able to get this all done in the browser, and I didn't have to post anything, which to me, I come from PHP and older. To me, when I came into this, I just assumed that I needed to have a server running and post it to there. And working with the Web3 API, learning React and getting it all to work in the browser was really impressive to me. And it really was something that was like an eye-opening moment, like, wow, we can do this totally different way.
Yeah, awesome. Love to see more of it.
I wanted to dive into your contract real quick to see how you disabled token transfer. And it looks like you hooked into the before token transfer, and then you just require that the address is 0, which would make it impossible, right?
Impossible. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Interesting way to do that.
I wrote test cases, and it passed all my test cases. So that was good enough for me. So
that's another thing to give props to, is you led with the test cases. You said, here's the first, and here are the test cases.
Thanks.
I like that.
That's how I did try and develop it, was test first,
cool.
and make that work.
Keep hacking and building on Ethereum. I want to see you at the next one.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your comments, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, team Crypto Devs NFT. We'll be taking our 10-minute break now, but after the break, we'll have Team D-Chan. All right, we're gonna get started again. Our break is over. So the next team going will be Team D-Chan. We'll wait for everybody to come back though.
As a quick note, Austin is there we go.
All right, if we're all ready, then Team D-Chan, you are good to go.
Hey guys, what's up? Okay, let me just share my screen. So, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm representing D-Chan, decentralized memes and blogging. The reason behind this hack was because people sometimes feel scared to be who they are. And in normal platforms, normal platforms don't help people express their opinions because you have your login, you have your profile, like people know you, and like if you say something wrong, they're just gonna bully you. They're just gonna talk shit about you, and they're gonna come after you. So I don't think that's human at all, because there's one secret about being human, is that talking and listening come together. You got to respect that. So on D-Chan, you can post your memes, transform them into NFTs, and monetize on your ideas and topics. So let's go to demo. So local host, right? We're here. So first things first, you can actually create your login. So cute Pikachu, and we can get an image here from cute Pikachu, and this is created on Ceramic. So I already have a login. I'm not gonna, you get the image picture, the image login, okay, and you just set your profile. So I'm just gonna read my profile from my wallet, and my name is Obi-san, so I created the Obi-san, and read profile, and here it is. It's a picture. It's a picture of Obi-Wan. If I actually open it up, it goes to the image link. Yay! Well, of course I know he's me. If I ping 127001. Okay, so let's have some fun here in D-Chan. So I'm gonna post a picture. I came into Mecha because I love mechas. So Gundams will be real. You have to believe me. So I'm just gonna create this simple meme here. You have to believe me. And I'm gonna sell it for a 0.3 Matic price. And I'm pretty sure I have a Gundam picture with me. So let's, where are you? Here you are, Gundam JPEG. So this is gonna go to IPFS, okay? It's connected to Infura. So when I create this post, it's gonna be sent there, and there's gonna be a pricing list for the platform so it can maintain itself, and later we can withdraw. And if you don't love me then you don't deserve me at my best. So Gundams will be real. Let's just test it out. I'm gonna buy this, and it's gonna show up in my collection. So you can collect your memes and collect your topics from people posting on these different topics. And there's some, I really like this project, and I just want to pump it up here. I just want to create many topics. I want to have, I don't know, maybe have 2 lines of navigation. And I also want to hack in some cool chatting and posting, chit chat, like kind of components. And I'm really in love with this project, and that was D-Chan. So
Yeah, guys, that was my demo.
I like the topics across the top. That design with the color scheme with the topics.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite part. So just to zoom in, it looks like it's cool. It looks like you made a post, and then you're able to sell the post. Is that a single one? Is it fractionalized? Is it an ERC 721? It is an 1155. Oh, sorry.
Well, it's not 1155. It's an NFT. it's 721. So when you post a topic, you can actually just like put the price in the very high price and people will never buy your post, but you want to just permanently put it there, you know, like, I don't know, like I got some info from the Pentagon and you put the price up and like it just stays there on topic, you know, and people won't ever buy that, or maybe the Pentagon will actually have to buy that to hide up the information. So yeah, it's 721. I'm using Concat to reverse. So every time it posts, it's always the newest post that's going to be showing up, and the last post is going to be post number 1. Another thing that I want to pull into the contracts is actually the token number. So like maybe dubs and trips and quads will exist on blockchain. That's going to be awesome. So like that's going to overprice the price because like, oh, it's the first quads ever, or the first dubs ever on DChan. And I think that's actually a pretty cool idea. I'm going to pull that up too. Yeah, the color scheme took me like forever. I had to like red 1 and red 500 and just, you know, start pulling it up.
What are all these? Okay, there's like a ton of contracts in here, but I think they're all just 721s. Is that right? Or most of them are just different variations of 721s?
Yeah, they're basically the same contracts. I just changed the typing on them and the market and like where they're pointing into, so that actually every time like we can actually have different number of posts. So like if you enter into 4chan or another chan, like you can go to a topic and there's over 333 million posts on politicians. But if you go to Mecca, there's only like 200,000 posts. But that's the cool part about it. It's not that it's just one NFT contract, but there's various NFT contracts bringing into the different numbers of tokens.
Yeah, I also like the design at the top. It almost looks like a spectrum of information flow going to this like decentralized Chan mimetic culture that you're trying to create here. Curious to know that the tech stack, like how are you posting it? Is it using Web3 storage or is it on Ceramic or?
Well, the Ceramic is just for profile. It actually, you can actually post without making your profile. It's just so that it's just one extra flavor that I put into it, you know. But in the future, I'm only gonna make posts if you have your Ceramic set up, you know. So it was kind of hard to actually make it all functional because there are over 73 contracts working there. Can you redo your question? Somebody's calling me. I just lost myself. Sorry, Master Morgan. Could you redo your question?
Yeah, no, just curious about the tech stack and also the aspect of moderation as well.
Okay, so tech stack, I use basically Next.js, and I use the link to link all of the contracts. And for the chit chat, I didn't post this one on the GitHub, but I'm using AWS to actually start making posts. And also I'm using Master Ryan's Discordian. But to actually do that, to actually use SSL and Filecoin to make a decentralized full chit chat thing, I'll need to actually have the entire domain. So I'd have to buy dchum/x.com and all of that SSL to make this like special href, I think that's it, link to these chit chats, you know. I think, what else can I say about the back end of it? Yeah, it's basically Next.js and I'm using hard hats and I'm using yeah, I think that's that, and React and Next. And
cool.
Yeah,
interesting concept.
Thanks a lot, Master Morgan.
Uh-oh.
Good hackathon project. Keep building. I want to see it the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna conclude this one. This one's awesome. Take care, Austin. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, Team DChan. And now we'll be moving on to Team Discovery, which should be our last team of the session.
Hi. So
Hello, everyone.
we will do a short intro before starting the video. And yeah, before diving into the demo focused on the technical and functional aspects, we would like to present our project in simpler terms. Discovery educates and onboards users and developers into the future of the web. How do we do this? By providing qualitative courses with reliable information that can be proposed, validated, and updated by the community. And now I'll share my screen.
Discovery is a gamified learning platform where members of the official Web3 protocol teams collaborate with
Yeah, I don't think you're sharing the audio.
content creation.
I'm sorry for that. I checked in the box.
I think
It is, but it's just really quiet. It's there. Yeah.
All right. If anyone else in the team can also, let me see.
Just crank it up as much as you can and hit go. We can deal with it. We'll turn it up.
It is max volume right now, so I am freaking. But I'll reshare and hopefully it will be better.
Discovery is a gamified learning platform where members of the official Web3 protocol teams collaborate with community experts in various fields such as content creation and research, development, or security to create high-quality courses that are built around open-source, trustable, and verifiable content.
The first step for users will be to log in with their MetaMask wallet or other Web3 wallet through the Polygon network. When you first log in, you will need to sign a ceramic string.
And here we do that, and once we get logged in, it will go ahead and take us to the starter profile page. It does take a couple of seconds to create the new user DID. All right, and here we are on our projects path, and we're going to go ahead and start with the Polygon path. And we're going to go with the best DeFi projects on Polygon. And let's open up our quest. And once these questions are answered, we'll be able to mint our NFT. So yes, there is Polygon or Aave available on the old Matic network, and the testnet is called Mumbai. So we'll submit these.
It is at this
mint our NFT.
It is at this point that we will use Chainlink to verify that the user has completed the quest successfully and that they are attempting to claim the reward for. Chainlink will check the ceramic stream and verify that the user's DID will match the record completing the quest related to the reward that they are trying to claim, and only then will the user be allowed to mint their NFT. This will actually directly be stored on nft.storage. In addition to creating our own lessons in Quest in-house, we also plan on making our entire platform completely modular. We focus on this by creating and providing a template and working with the official protocol team so that they are able to create courses and challenges for the things they would like to see their protocol used for. With this, protocols will not only be able to suggest and work with the discovery team to create content, but they will be able to actually create their own content as well as offer their own rewards in conjunction with the standard discovery NFT rewards.
And because we are emphasizing modularity, we're also using Gitbook to create content like many other protocols. So we've created a plug-and-play GitHub action that can be used in any repo, Gitbook, or code. Files of the repo will be uploaded to IPFS through web3.storage. We then generate an NFT that contains metadata such as the CIDs of the files of the repo, the name of the authors, the GitHub ID, the GitHub commit ID, etc. We then upload that NFT to nft.storage and create a ceramic document that contains the CID returned by nft.storage.
All right, we'll move on to the Q&A. You have 3 minutes.
I really love the concept of education here, where people are sort of passed through these paths of education and learning and tooling. So really kudos to that, and sort of the question and answering concept can kind of even like, you can even possibly incorporate it into some type of AI or something like that. But I'd be curious to know if how you plan to incorporate new types of tooling into the pathways that you might be involved in.
Could you specify what you mean by new types of tooling? Like, for example, AI or?
Not necessarily AI, but I guess involving, you mentioned like Polygon learning these certain sort of almost like micro credentials minted as NFTs. How easy it is for other people to incorporate that or add on other tooling sets in the decentralized ecosystem.
I see. So like the one that will pass the quest will receive an NFT, and he can use that NFT anywhere. So I guess I'm not sure if that answers your question.
You want me, I think what he might be getting at, and I could be wrong, is so what we've got it set up as is if somebody wants to add on to the Polygon quest, they would go to the Gitbook page and they would try to push this new, let's say they wanted to add a couple new little mini courses or mini modules. They would push that to Gitbook. They actually get an NFT if it gets merged by the admin, and there's something called only approver in the contract that would make sure only the approver's address would be allowed to mint it. But once you push that on there, then that will then become part of the Polygon quest, and that will be part of the new NFT, and we'll actually keep track of that with the versioning within the NFT. I don't know if that answers maybe a little bit what you were getting at. Okay.
Exactly. I want to understand the flow. I think it's really cool that you were able to do that.
Yeah, that's the flow.
Yeah. So another great design, another good looking front end. Can you guys give us a little bit of your stack in terms of building that experience?
Sure, I go with the front end, and then Jamie, if you want to follow up. So we've used Next.js and Ceramic. There's a Ceramic instance running in the browser, but we also have a Ceramic instance running in server, and those contain different data. We're using IGX on top of Ceramic to index the data. We are
the
using
Chainlink. Using Chainlink to read Ceramic data. I've never heard of someone doing that. That's so interesting. Like when I think of a quiz, I think maybe they're going to do like some commit reveal on chain. No, you load it to Ceramic, and then you use an Oracle to make sure that it's in Ceramic and correct. That's good stuff. So one other kind of comment to make here is you want to think about when you're building a platform on Ethereum, you want to think about incentives and how to incentivize folks to create quizzes. Is that something that you guys are thinking about? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to incentivize. But is that something?
Maybe I'll go ahead. Sure.
No, yeah, for sure. So like we are working with a couple of members from the Token Engineering Academy as well to create like some kind of squads. So which would be sub DAOs inside of we imagine to become a DAO. So they would be sub DAOs, and we will create incentivization compatible programs to be able to keep the squads collaborate with each other, and like also kind of create contents where the project owners or the subject matter experts can validate the content of the course, and there will be prices, from the community pool as well.
One little piece I dig into too is like quizzes are okay, but if you're already having this almost like results oracle kind of thing that happens, like I imagine more of like a build challenge where it's like, can you create this thing? Can you build this? And we can give you NFTs. Like going through a quiz is good, but it's really just kind of like testing a thing. Like going through the quiz isn't that fun of an experience, but if you could make it something more, really onboarding them and saying, okay, you got the tools up, you got this thing built, it's deployed here, we can check that. Now you get this. So that's another like thing I'd love to see too, is more of a build challenge.
Maybe Kali, you could also mention branched and decrypted courses.
Yeah. So we have branched paths that are focused for the end user, and then we have decrypted paths that will be more focused on code challenges, bounties, etc.
And those would be like tutorial educational courses, like tutorials made with the teams, like course structures would be made with the project members and would be created, the content would be created by the community and gets validated by the project team as well. So it's like a decentralized on-chain and the content would be decentralized as well.
Good project. Let's onboard some people. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
guys.
love it. Thank you, Team Discovery. That was actually our last team of the session. So I think we're pretty much done now. So thank you, judges. Thank you to all the participants in the hackathon this time around. And if there's nothing further, I think we can go ahead and end this seminar. Judges, I think you're supposed to receive an email from Kartik too. If you want to say something, Kartik, I don't know if there's anything else we need to cover.
Yeah, it was just great. Thank you to all the hackers who presented, and we'll follow up with all the teams on Discord, and then I'll follow up with all the judges over email. So thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Cameron, if you can go ahead and end the meeting, I think.
All right, thank you. I think you're the host.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll just end the meeting. Okay. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You too.